The latest now in the Navy jet crash. The nation's eye focused on Virginia Beach. What's foreign land to many across the country, for us, it's just a part of home. It's in the resort city this morning where dozens of families are waking up in someplace other than their own homes. They're hoping today brings more answers. The FA-18 jet went down in the Mayfair Mews apartment complex. That's off Bird Neck Road. It happened just after noon yesterday. As you see from Chopper 10, the damage absolutely widespread. 40 apartment units destroyed. We can tell you crews are no longer actively searching for any specific person. That is new this morning. Everyone is accounted for. Now, coming up here, we're going to get more answers when we talk live with Virginia Beach Fire and Rescue Battalion Chief Tim Riley. That's just 10 minutes from now. But at this hour, no deaths have been reported. One person is waking up in the hospital. We're told that person's injuries are treatable. 6 others were treated and released. That includes the 2 pilots.
The crew is doing well. They suffered some minor injuries, and the latest report is that they're up and about and both coherent and doing well.
The Navy says the crash was caused by a, quote, catastrophic mechanical malfunction of the aircraft. At the controls, a student pilot, according to the Navy, an experienced instructor sat in the back seat. Military officials warn you may see limited flight operations at NAS Oceana this morning. At around 9 o'clock, 8 aircraft will be moved from NAS Chambers Field in Norfolk to Oceana. They were actually diverted following yesterday's crash. After that, Oceana will shut down until Monday morning.
The jet is straight in front of us. That's unreal.
This is video that you're looking at that was shot by Virginia Beach's Zach Zapatero. He witnessed yesterday's crash. 10 on your side's Liz Palka is live on the scene this morning. Liz, I know you're about to speak with Zach in just a moment from now, but what is it like out there this morning?
Well, there's still a lot of activity out here this morning, David. A lot of police still in the area. People from Oceana, members of the Navy, the Virginia Beach Fire Department. They're actually getting ready to shut down Bird Neck Road, or the northbound lanes of Bird Neck Road, to bring in some more heavy equipment as this investigation phase is beginning. But one thing we're finding, David, is that as we've been out here, there's so many stories coming out of this part of Virginia Beach. What happened yesterday, what people saw and what they felt, what they did right away when they saw one of the pilots laying on the ground and ran to help him. Lots of stories coming out of this area. Zach Zapatero was actually playing tennis in the area yesterday just around noon when the jet crashed into the apartment complex. Zach, you took some amazing videos and pictures on your cell phone. And in fact, if we can bring one of those up of the 2 tails sticking out of the fire, tell me what led up to that moment when you took that picture.
Well, while I was playing tennis, I was looking to my left, and there was this huge cloud of black smoke rising up, which is very unusual in Virginia Beach. So I dropped my racket, picked up my phone, and started running towards where the smoke was coming from. While I was running, it smelled of jet fuel, and as I come up across the road, I see the fire, and I just try to get as close as I can to it. So I started taking video from the front and then hopped over a fence is where I came around on the side of the building is where I got the picture of the rear fuselage. And there were flames around it. I didn't see many people stumbling out of there. It just seemed to be a chaotic scene.
And I want people to know how early this was because the jet crash happened just a little bit after noon. What time was this by the time you got over to where the accident happened?
The first video I started taking at was at 12:13. So only about like 5-10 minutes after the plane crashed.
What did you see? What did you feel? Tell me more about what was going on right at that moment.
Well, the Virginia Beach Fire Department was very quick to get on scene, and there was a lot of police there. But about after 15 minutes, they started shooing us away from the fire. Because where I was taking photos, I was only about 20 feet away from the fire. The police locked the area down and sent us back on the other side of the road, where you couldn't really see much, and people were just on their phones calling people, making sure loved ones are okay.
And Zach, you live in this area. I know you're a big tennis player. You were just playing tennis when this happened. Is this just unbelievable to you, especially being so close to where the jet crashed?
Oh yeah, it's horrific. I've never thought in my life that I'd ever have to see the rear end of a fuselage laying in the courtyard of a residential neighborhood. From all the planes that fly over here from Oceana, they seem to have been very safe over the last years that I've lived here. I've never heard of anything like this, and it was just a shock to see that plane sitting in there and all those apartments burning down.
All right, Zach Zapatero, thank you so much. We're going to check in with you again in the next 30 minutes. I appreciate you coming by to talk with us. David, you heard it from Zach. Just an incredible scene out here yesterday. We're very grateful for his videos and for his pictures. Again, still a lot going on here at the scene as far as the investigation and looking for any people that might be injured or maybe victims of this crash. So I'm going to go check in with some members of the fire department that are on the scene, and we'll bring that all to you in the next 30 minutes.
Liz,
David?
we appreciate that. We appreciate Zach hanging around for the next half hour. We'll check in with you then. Thanks so much, Liz. All right, still to come this morning with so many folks out of a home this morning. Where are they all staying? Coming up, a look at one of the shelters set up overnight to help those displaced. And as we look live at the crash site this morning, we'll be joined by Battalion Chief Tim Riley. He'll update us on the progress in tracking down the 3 residents that were unaccounted for. You heard about this yesterday. There's an update to this. Of course, we'll hear that. And log on to Facebook to ask your questions that you might have for the chief.